3, 2, 1. Okay, let's, hello everyone. Hello, Lizzie Tish. Hello, Dina. Hello, B. I wonder how settings, comment settings. Hang on, you guys. I need to go do something real quick, and then I'll restart this. I don't want to do sub only. I want to do sub only comments. How do I do that? Pause. Not what I want to do. Nope, that's not it. That's not what I want to do. Hey, everybody. What is that? Ah, there we go. Nice. Okay, so, I'm figuring this out. Technology, take that. So, welcome everybody to this live. The way I've got this set up is that subscribers can comment. So if you're subscribed, you can chat with me. There are 3 subscriber options. Telestial, terrestrial, and celestial. So welcome to my subscribers. It's good to see you. Thanks for subscribing. I'm still figuring out this part of the like the subscription part of TikTok. So thanks for letting me practice on you. Today, we are going to be watching the Sister Wives Honeymoon special. Yay! I started watching season 2. It looked like when I was on Amazon, it looked like the last 2 episodes were just interviews. So I was like, ugh, boring. I can't sit through. It's already difficult sometimes to sit through these episodes. And I was like, I just cannot do, I can't do 2 episodes of interviews. But that meant that I started watching season 2 before I started watching the Sister Wives, the Honeymoon special. So that means that the Honeymoon special is still available to be watched. And actually, let me grab one more thing. So I'm curious. I'm still playing with some equipment. Thanks, Soul Wanderer. Thanks for subscribing. I'm still playing with all of this fancy new equipment. Look, it's a microphone. So, come on, Prime. So, guys, let me know if this is better in terms of sound, in terms of like the audio quality. Okay, so now I'm connected to this mic. How does the audio sound? Is that better audio? Does it matter? Is that better audio? Sweet. That would be really unfortunate if if I had this super $100 mic and it didn't make better audio. Do I think Cody's a narcissist? Okay, so I want to be really clear. I am not a mental health professional, so I cannot diagnose people. Here's what I will say. In my mental health journey, in my kind of healing journey, understanding, I don't like to say narcissist. I like to say narcissistic tendencies or narcissistic behavior. Does that make sense? So like, I don't want to say someone is a narcissist. I want to describe narcissistic tendencies or narcissistic behavior. And what I've seen in Mormonism is that Mormonism really creates two kinds of people. It creates people who exhibit narcissistic tendencies, and it creates people who exhibit caretaker tendencies. So in order for a narcissist is only one side of the coin, right? There's narcissism. Narcissists have to have caretakers. And there's a really great book that you can get. It's called How to End the Drama. It's like something like Take Your Life Back from the bipolar, borderline and narcissist. It's on Amazon. It's by Marjorie Feltstad, I think is her name. Really fantastic book. And that's what helped me learn that I'm a caretaker. Good job, me. I actually do think if you're going to be, I mean, they're both mental. Both being a narcissist and being a caretaker are both unhealthy, but I would way rather be a caretaker. Because I think if you're a caretaker, you at least are. If you're a caretaker, what you have to learn is, oh, I manipulate other people by trying to take care of them, and I need to actually redirect that energy onto myself. And and if you're a narcissist, you just have no idea that other people exist, and that just seems harder to heal from. So yeah, really great book. Super recommend it. It's so hard to put this little fuzzy thing on. Maybe I don't even need it. There's not a lot of wind. I probably don't need the mic cover, right? This is fine for audio. I'm just kind of, okay. Let me put on my glasses so I can see the TV from all the way over here. And I'm gonna get kind of comfy. Make sure this is, okay, great. Thanks, Soul Wanderer. Today we will be playing the drinking game. However, instead of whiskey, which is what I had last time, I have a green drink. So this is a healthy drinking game where at the end of it, instead of getting alcohol poisoning, I will have a really clean colon. So very excited about that. Welcome everybody to me watching Sister Wives. Oh, hang on. I might need to do this on my laptop. Well, let's see if this works. It did. Yes. Okay, we're going to go to episode 9, Honeymoon Special. Here we go. Cheers, y'all.
Listen, I'm really married for 5 days. Nothing else is going to make me more excited.
He's focused somewhere else for 11 days, and I'm angry.
There's no bathrooms in the mountain?
No, they have trees. When I sit here and think, oh, I miss him, he's not here, it's just ridiculous. Why not have the world revolve around him? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
Oh, what is that? Oh.
Die about your life list, and what can you die for? I like this one I was in.
It's almost too much power. I can't handle this.
Oh, man.
I think the lines are natural polygamous.
Oh, man. Already, here's what I see. With 3 wives who have all been abandoned by their husband, and they're all going camping with their kids, and they're all super stressed. And then all of that stress just like filtered down onto their kids. What a gross thing to do to your family. I don't like that. I don't love it. I don't love it, you guys. It doesn't make me happy.
It just makes each of us better.
No, it doesn't. That's bullshit.
The other wives, I think there's room for everybody. I like sister wives. I wanted the family. I didn't just want the men.
The wives work together. I want to be a part of that team.
Love should be multiplied, not divided.
Their stupid catchphrases are so dumb. Love should be multiplied, not divided. Cody and Robin's honeymoon suite, San Diego.
It's that little honeymoon nest.
Yeah, it's been a long wait, so here we are.
Man,
It's been going well.
It's been easy.
Yeah, it's been fun.
The long wait kind of.
they are so obviously into each other. And I think that just makes it heartbreaking all around. Cause like, I want to be able to be like, hell yeah, be into each other. That's great. I love that for you. Like, I will fucking love. I want people to be into each other. I want married people to be into each other. But then that, I mean, I don't see that spark between Cody and any of his other wives. And I'm sure they're aware of that. Like, you know that, you see that's happening. Oh, it's just so heartbreaking. But don't worry, you guys. Don't worry. The heartbreak is actually just making them more celestial and getting them worthy of heaven. So it's actually good. It's actually a good thing that they're miserable right now.
Good foundation for relationship, I guess.
Yeah. It's our long time. It's finally, we have the license. It's been a long time. And we did it all right.
10 months.
10 months.
10 months.
Yeah, that's a long time for...
In this community, in this
The
lifestyle,
lifestyle,
it's
yeah.
a long time. Most polygamists,
That is true.
60 to 90 days, and then they're married.
It's really difficult for...
Most
both
Mormons
women.
date for 60 or 90 days
Struggle with
and they're
it.
married. 60 or 90 days, that's absurd. That's way longer than I mean, some Mormons are getting married in like 30 days. Do you want to know why? The reason why is that Mormonism pushes people to get married really young and to have kids really fast because it locks you in, right? So if you get married and then you have kids and you do it in the cult, then you're locked in. So it's not because that's what is best for women or men or children. It's actually bad for everyone to do it that quickly, but it locks you into because then you've got another person that's like keeping you in. And then also you go to the temple where you do super weird sacred rituals that in the polygamy world, at least, you covenant to like kill yourself if you reveal. So that's fun. That's a cool thing.
And her husband being in this little dating love situation with a girl that he's not married to. Because it's not a guarantee when you're courting. You could always turn around and say, hey, this isn't going to work out for me. You know, just like any other relationship.
Hopefully it all changes with the marriage, which it always does. That's been my experience. She's in the wives club. She's not a girlfriend or a fiance. She's a wife. And wives are comfortable with another wife. They're just not comfortable with a girlfriend or a fiance.
Yeah.
Wives are comfortable with a wife. I don't know. I don't know that that's how this is going to turn out, y'all.
I specifically asked my mom to take care of my kids. I had Mary call me and say, hey, we missed the kids. Can we take them for a couple days? And I was like, sure.
Yeah, I thought it would be fun to keep Robin's kids for a little bit while she was gone.
So that's an example of Mary taking Robin's kids, right? That's an example of someone trying to do the right thing, even though it is emotionally taxing and it's not what they really... So there's no way that Mary was happy about babysitting Robin's kids while Robin was off with Mary's husband. And Imagine that. Imagine how that would make you feel. That's how that made Mary feel. But it's the right thing to do. So that's what we're going to do. God, I hate it. I hate the way that Mormonism just pushes you to just deny yourself, right? To just deny your emotions, deny your feelings, and be like, those things are bad. We're not going to do them. I'm just going to do what I have to do. Meanwhile, your emotions are screaming at you like, hey, something's wrong. Hey, you're jealous. Think about why you're jealous. It's because your needs aren't getting met.
Outside. It doesn't matter. You get to go outside now.
It is a little bit hard that Cody.
Oh man, and Christine has a brand new baby. Oh my God.
It's different than just going out of town.
It's 11 days that they're gone together. I don't know what's acceptable, but I think 11 days is ridiculous, to be honest.
11 days is so long.
I think 11 days is too much. So that's where I'm at, and I'm angry. So I'm having a hard time reconciling this thing that's not logical, that I'm totally fine with Robin. She's great. I have no problems with the marriage. I'm excited about her coming into the family. And yet I find myself being so illogically angry.
You're not illogically angry, Janelle. You're not illogically angry. You're just angry because you're being treated unfairly. And that would have been such an easy fix too, right? That would have been so easy for Cody and Robin to be like, hey, Mary, or not, they wouldn't even had to talk to Mary and Christine. Cody could have just been like, how long were my honeymoons with Janelle and Christine and Mary? And then so like, let's say that he had a 3-day honeymoon with Janelle and a 5-day honeymoon with Christine, and let's say a 7-day honeymoon with Mary. All he would have had to have done is add the total, like take the average of that and give that to Robin, and that would have been fair. That would have been no feelings hurt, nothing off, just, hey, let's do this fairly. The average total of honeymoon days that everyone got was 6. So Robin, you're getting a 6-day honeymoon. And maybe we'll cut it. And then what I would have done if I were Robin and I wanted to get on these wives' good side is that after Cody came to me and was like, hey, we're going to do the average number of honeymoon days. We're going to do 6 honeymoon days because that's the average. I would have said, well, actually, Christine just had a baby. So why don't we do a 4-day honeymoon? And then we'll do like an extra day on our first anniversary or something, right? To show up generously and to be like, to sort of acknowledge and recognize what that means for Cody to be gone for 11 days. Like that would have been, God, that would have been such a different energy. And you're so right. User 56144677, whatever. Totally different dynamic. 0 kids before 16, 8, I don't even know where they're at. 18, something like that. God, that phrase, illogically angry. You're not illogically angry. You are justifiably angry, and your anger is telling you something. You can trust your anger. Your anger is telling you your boundaries are being crossed. You're being treated unfairly. That's what your anger is telling you, Janelle. Listen to it.
I don't get it.
We're 3 minutes in and I'm already angry. It gets worse, doesn't it? Damn it.
Yes, it is.
I mean, for the whole past year,
Oh,
there's been
thank you,
so
Christine.
many emotions, love and acceptance and jealousy and pain, and there's just been so much. But honestly, my biggest thing about them being gone for their honeymoon
God, 11 days is a long time.
How you doing?
Gross.
How you doing?
Gross.
When she's courting a married man and I'm a married man courting her, there's a level of intimacy that we never get into in that courtship.
A girl coming into family, she does not engage in the marriage act until they are married.
The marriage act. The way that Mormons and especially polygamists talk about, I don't want to say this because I don't want to get banned. The marriage act is the marriage act, gross. As if that is what defines marriage. Not like, I don't know, as if the marriage act is that and not like mutual trust and safety. And like, I'm going to be there for you no matter what. No, the marriage act is, just call it boning. Get over yourselves.
You are the last wife, and you have somebody else coming in. If he kept his morals high...
You know, the one thing that I will say is that honeymoon was probably obnoxious for Cody and Rob. Can you imagine having cameras following you around on your honeymoon? So obnoxious. It would be so obnoxious. So, you know, that showed him.
You would expect him to keep his morals high with her. There's a lot of experiences and certain areas you just don't discuss. There's things you just don't know about each other, and that's just part of the situation. So it's this really beautiful experience of something new that you've never experienced.
Oh, totally.
Before.
Polygamous after dark.
Fundamentals of
Hot.
culture. That weight is absolutely imperative. That builds a relationship of trust. Not only does it build a relationship of trust with Rob and I, that builds a relationship of trust between me and my wives, and her and my wives. And trust in a marriage and a relationship is the crown jewel.
The rules are very strict.
I agree with that. If you're gonna do polygamy, you should 100% not sleep with your girlfriend. 100% you should not sleep with your girlfriend. Nope. Man, I'm just crushing all these subscriber goals. Can we get to 50 today, you guys? That would be rad. My goal, my prize for getting to 50 subscribers, if we do that in today's live, my daughter gave it to me, and it's that I'll eat her parakeet raw. She doesn't have a parakeet, luckily.
It's like this guy coming in from the LDS church. It was almost Victorian. I'm much more comfortable with Cody's relationship with Robin now that she's married. But before a marriage, it's way different. I mean, it kind of sounds like we don't trust Cody, that he's going to go do something inappropriate. And it's not that. But for some reason, it is different.
When we get married, we believe we are being...
So if I, now again, I will never be, I will never be a polygamist. I might be in a polycule. I will never be a polygamist. But if I were a polygamist, I would never, like, if all wives equally, right? So if Cody didn't kiss Christine before marriage, it was very foolish of him, I think, to kiss Robin before they were married. A gift goal. How do I set a gift goal? Oh, add a live goal. There's a little button right there. Add a live goal. Okay. Edit. My goal is I don't know, 100? Is 100 a good goal? I have no idea. Confirm. There we go. Look, I did it. I'm figuring out TikTok, you guys. Yeah, so it's just, I mean, if you're gonna have multiple wives and claim that they're all equal, then you should treat them all equally. Lizzie, oh my gosh, you're my title gifter.
Been into each other for eternity. Cody, Mary, Janelle, Christine.
Eternity is a long time to be in a relationship.
God's involved.
God's involved in all of it.
We had
He
a
crashed our worlds together.
serendipitous experience.
Sexy God.
And the whole family, clearly, that we belong together.
On our honeymoon, we went for just an insane long drive, and we listened to Phantom of the Opera. It was like the big thing. We road tripped, which is exactly what I like to do. I don't really want to have a plan. I just want to go on a road trip, and that's exactly what we did. It was perfect.
For our honeymoon, wow.
Okay, so Christine got to go on a drive.
The day after we got married, and I had migraines, and I was nauseous. I was so sick.
Do you think, wait, Mary got married to Cody and then got sick? I wonder if her body was telling her something.
For 3 days. So we didn't go anywhere for 3 days after we got married. And then we left and had to hurry and get to Wyoming, where he was from. We went to Jackson Hole, and we actually were going to go through Yellowstone, and we got like part of the way, and then we were snowed out, and so we had to go the long way back up to his hometown. We barely made it. We were broke. So we just
Oh my gosh, a road trip in the winter in Wyoming is an awful honeymoon. Wait, the family eventually stays at Mary's honeymoon motel? That's fun.
That seems to be this common theme, and that's kind of like, ugh. But that's what we did. We took 4 or 5 days and just drove back to Wyoming and just stopped.
Oh my God. Oh, that's... So Cody's go-to move for his honeymoon was, hey, do you guys want to come back to the ranch? Oh, God, what an awful place. What a terrible... And then Robin's like, do you want to go to San Diego? Oh, San Diego is so much better than the ranch.
Is usually just kind of flies by the seat of his pants. I think that's probably how all of our honeymoons were. Just kind of, let's just do whatever.
Because he's even said, it's only been in recent years that he's actually learned how to take a vacation. Robin's getting a really different guy than Cody was. He's evolved so much.
We struggle with the fact that she gets a bigger, better wedding reception or bigger, better honeymoon.
Yeah, you should.
There too, but at the same time, we realize that we're different people.
For me, I really don't think he would take 11 days. Our honeymoon was like 3 days.
You know, he and I just celebrated our 20th anniversary.
3 days?
We celebrated 20 years together, and I get 3 days. I want to feel as important as anybody else in his life.
3 days for a 20-year wedding anniversary?
I shouldn't compare because that always gets you in trouble, but that makes me just not.
No, you should. You should compare. Gosh, they keep getting so close and then talking themselves out of it. Like, oh, I'm so angry, but it's illogical. Oh, I'm jealous, but I shouldn't be. Oh, you shouldn't compare because then no. Your body is trying to tell you something.
That it's important for him to take that much time for me.
Just seeing her shrug that off, like, that's
Cutting into our time.
really important.
I'm much more comfortable with Cody's relationship with you guys than I am with his relationship with Robin.
Oh, by the way, everything they said was true.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Get that out of my head.
I've always wanted to, since I looked like a surfer too. Honeymoon in San Diego is a perfect time to learn how to surf. Anyway, so Robin's kind of intimidated by it.
It's not deep where we can surf and how deep the water will be when we're surfing, so it'll be fun, I think, to try. I'm willing to die trying
I told her I wanted to go surfing. She had written in her life list that she wanted to go surfing.
Safari.
Cody comes to me without.
You know, maybe in some ways it is a good thing that they went on this 11-day honeymoon because they are all over each other, which makes sense. Like if they were dating for 10 months and they didn't do anything, then there's a lot of, you know, pent up energy, if you will. So, you know, that might have been really gross and obnoxious for the other wives to see. So maybe that was strategic. Maybe they were like, look, we got to go on a 11-day honeymoon so we can just get all of this out of our system so that we can be okay. Sorry, guys, I need a blanket. I need to huddle up for this.
And goes, wanna go surfing? And I'm like, haha, do I ever? Hello.
Hi. Good. Welcome to Safari.
Now that's a surfer, dude.
We need some surf instruction. All right. Man, if I would have known this is going to expose me this way, I'd have worn a girdle a little tighter.
Aaron.
They're gonna have so much fun.
Oh, there we go. I just went, oh.
By the way, everything they said was true. And it's so hilarious. I'm dying because when Mary Christine and Janelle give me the Cody survival kit, the first thing they say to me is, he's always flexing in front of the mirror. And so I say,
A Cody survival kit. Oh my God. If I were in relationship with people and then those people, even as a joke, were like, here's a Ben survival kit, I would re-examine how I am in relationship. I would be like, maybe I should be less obnoxious.
oh my gosh, they're right. He does. I mean, I kind of wonder if it was like an over-the-top thing.
Well, hey, the boys are outside. You guys ready to go to the beach?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Got this. I grabbed your mustard.
I know. You need a survival kit to survive being his wife?
Location. You think it's easy, but it's not.
We are going to a picnic.
Our teenage girls, depending on the day, well, no, pretty much almost every day, anything we suggest, of course, is not very fun.
We're going to a picnic in the mountains.
It's just
Maddie.
Teenage years, you know. You can have a fun house from somebody.
It's just...
Dad, will you stop texting? I'm gonna have some caffeine, just so I'm a good mom. You put all
It might not be just the teenage years. It might be that their dad has been gone for 13 days. Okay, it's not that long.
I perceive any time he spends with her as cutting into our time. It's the fact
'Cause
that
that's what it
he
is.
focused somewhere else for 11 days and on one particular person for 11 days. That's frustrating me.
Yeah, I mean, again, love is divided. It's not multiplied. That's bullshit. Love is divided because love is time and attention. And if there are, I don't even know how many family members there are at this point. 18, 16 kids. That's how many my dad has. I think there were 15. I don't remember at this point. A lot of people. And if they all need dad attention, and now dad's attention is gone for 11 days on one person, that's pretty divided, you know? But, you know, Cody gets to learn how to surf.
We'll just go right up here in the sand. Move the nose facing out towards the ocean. Step 1, hands back by your armpits. Step 2, arch up. And then whatever foot feels most comfortable, up you go. All right. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Awesome.
Oh, that was a tough wave there. I
Gnarly drop in. gnarly drop in. What that surf instructor says. Gnarly drop in could be the actual name of this show. It's not Sister Wives. It's Gnarly Drop In. Yeah, if the show, I mean, we know actually what kind of honeymoon Robin would have gotten if the show wasn't paying for it. She would have gone to the ranch. She would have gone on a road trip to Wyoming.
Savannah, you need to run and go potty. Come on, it's time to go potty. Did you go to the bathroom? Did you go to the bathroom? Why don't you come in back this way? Savannah, where's Trudy? I need my daughter. Oh my gosh. It's such an ordeal to get this many people.
Yeah, you know what would make that a little bit easier? A husband.
Let's get out there. All right.
We started just seeing this stuff coming. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, woo! I was freaking out. Oh my gosh, those waves hit me, and I was just like, here I am. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. I don't care, but I'm gonna die trying because this is on my life list. And if you can't die about your life list, then what can you die for?
Life list.
But I just paddle and you get on there and you just try to stay on, and oh my gosh, it was a rush.
That looks really fun. God, I want to surf. Oh, that looks like so much fun.
He's teaching us how to do it and everything. I didn't give a hang. I was like, man, if I get up or not, I don't really care because I'm married, man. That was the most important thing.
Rob probably did a lot better than me.
I just want to have fun.
He's like, look, I just need you to know that even though I couldn't get it up, I'm still really strong. Look, I can pick you up.
It sounds like hell. The idea of them ganging up on him just is tough. Does this look dry to you? Does anything around here look dry?
You know what? Here's what I would do. Here's what I declare, actually. As the actual true Mormon prophet, here's what I declare. From now on, from henceforth, this is what God wants. Instead of men, when they get married, when polygamists get married, there's not a honeymoon for the man and the new wife. Instead, there's a honeymoon for the original wives. And as part of that, the new wife can come along and make it a girls' trip, but the man has to stay home and take care of the kids. That is my declaration as true prophet.
We're going to the San Diego Wild Animal Park to go on a tour. Fun, huh?
See all the wild animals.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh wow. Look at all these different birds. Look at that one. Look that one over there. Okay. These pretty flowers. Wow.
Oh, I never bought you flowers.
I never,
We just go up here on the track.
in the middle of the honeymoon that he's probably not paying for, he's like, I never bought you flowers. God. Oh, he's not even that great of a husband to Robin.
We're going to be heading out.
Hey, puppy, come here. Come here. Yes, good girl. Hello. Hello, 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 hello.
And since the two of you are on your honeymoon, I thought I would make this a special tour today and theme it all about courtship.
The park tour guide did not know we were polygamists. It was actually really cute and informative. She told us a lot. It was really cute. And Cody was like, sort of like,
Well, it just kept dawning on me that the animal kingdom is very polygamous in its nature.
I know have a
It just kept dawning on me that
that the females like to have other best girlfriends in order to have
the same time? Like, do they cycle at the same time?
Yes, just like human women. Yes, they will often sync up together, so the male has a lot of work ahead of him.
Sounds like hell. I was giggling to myself the whole time. She's telling me, yeah, these female rhinos, they band together and they don't take any, any guff off this guy at all. I'm like, oh, I can so relate.
Yeah, there's no way that that woman wasn't briefed by the producers to talk about all of the polygamous rhinos. There's no way that a producer didn't go to her first and say, hey, don't mention this, but for sure, talk about the rhinos.
Maybe not so different
Yeah.
from some of the human world, right? Sometimes if girls, they stick together and
You don't
maybe
even
would.
know.
Okay, kids, we're here. Let's grab some stuff out of the back and let's go have a picnic. Let me out! Hey, I have the food. I don't want you playing in the rivers this time. And the water is really cold because it's snow coming right now. This is glass.
She rhino.
And it has
That's
ice.
funny.
Be very careful with it. I like it here by the mountain a little more.
Yeah, animals also eat their babies. Although,
He just asked
you
me
know,
if he brought wood. And I just stared at him. And he gave me
I'm not saying that we should eat our babies, to be clear. I'm just saying that having had young children, at some points I've understood why. I've been like, oh, I get it. I understand why sometimes cougars are like, you know what? You would be better as a burger.
serious. We didn't bring wood.
Mary. Does this look dry to you? Does anything around here look dry?
It's a relief how well the kids are getting along with each
Yeah, I
other.
really didn't know what I would expect, but it's
Yeah.
been almost easy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because our kids are their age.
They've all been really accepting of each other. I mean, all of them, all 16 of them.
Okay, there are 16 kids.
Into the family, and then the ones.
You still have that thought with your teenagers? Right. You're like,
You know,
a nice souffle?
we're all happy to have each other.
You know what would have been, here's another thing that Robin could have done that would have probably changed the whole tone of the rest of the relationship. It's all about being generous, right? You gotta, one of the best life hacks I've ever discovered is be generous. Be generous with your community, be generous with your people. And a way that Robin really could have just changed the whole tenor of this. She's got 11 days. And so Cody comes to her and he's like, hey, I want to give you an 11-day vacation or honeymoon. She could have said, you know what? I would like a 5-day honeymoon. I would like a 5-day honeymoon, and then that leaves 6 days. And then I want you to take each one of the other wives on a 2-day trip, just the two of you. So, yeah, I'll get a cool honeymoon. We'll get to connect. We'll get to have some fun time together. And then because I know that because there's all this talk of like, ooh, I know that this is hard for everyone, blah, blah, blah. Well, then do something about it. Do something. Show up. Be a generous person. Like put your money where your mouth is. And it wouldn't have been that hard, right? And that would have been so lovely, right? And that would have been, you're right, that would have been such better television than 11 days of Cody and Robin, right? And then Cody and Robin still could have had a really fun connection time. And then Cody could have reconnected with each one of his wives and really made sure that they knew that they were important to him. They could have had a lot of really lovely connection. And instead, it's just like, ooh, we're gonna go get something that no one else has had. So, And I get that a big part of the difference between Robin's experience and Cody and Janelle and Mary and Christine and their experience. Yeah, are you trying to high five me? Yeah, is the show, right? So the show coming in with money and probably paying for a lot of this trip, a lot of this wedding, that's one of the reasons why Robin's getting better shit, for sure. But there's a way to, spread that around a little more equally that I think would have probably avoided a lot of the disruption that shows up later, I assume, based on how no one's married anymore. Hello, giraffe. Meerkat.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to Flightline. What we're going to be doing here is a whole Flightline experience. So it's a zip line. Just wings. You're going to be soaring over part of the Wild Animal Park, flying at roughly 40 miles per hour on the main line.
Ooh.
It's going to get pretty fast.
See, he could have gone surfing with Robin because it was on her life list. He could have gone to the wildlife park with Christine. He could have gone on the zip line with Mary. He could have gone to a show with Janelle. Like,
Hey, how are you excited? I'm just like,
yeah, that's such a good point, Sky Mommy. Like, it's also not fair or even real. Like, no polygamous family that I know has ever taken an 11-day vacation. Like, most of them don't even take vacations.
yeah, whatever.
I might get nervous when we finally go skydiving. It'll take a lot to scare me. I've got 4 wives. Nothing scares me but poverty.
Pretty much we're out of control now. Once they let this thing go, that's it. You just have to trust the equipment.
Oh, yeah?
Cody says trust the equipment a lot.
Okay. Let's go, dude.
Oh, that does look pretty awesome. Although, poor animals, do you ever think there's like a lion at that zoo? It's just like flopping around like I used to be a king in Africa and now I'm just hanging out while these dumb white bitches scream while they pass over me.
You feel like a helicopter chasing the cat.
Leave it.
I think they're fine. I think it made me absolutely ill.
I would love to.
Let me check it now.
Oh my God, are they? Oh my God, I just realized this. The wives are watching. They're watching footage of the honeymoon. Oh God, I would be so pissed. You're like, not only are you not with your husband while he's off on his 11-day honeymoon, and not only do you have to deal with all of that jealousy of like taking care of and all of that, then you have to watch it. Ugh, God, reality television sucks. Hey.
Valentine's Day. His name means love.
Aww.
I'm actually really good at this.
Are you? Are you really good at marriage too?
And this lion has a pride. I don't know how many mates he had.
I had a male lion and I think he's a female lion.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
You're trying to say?
Are you suggesting that lions are natural polygamists, like man? He's only got 2. He's just getting started. He ain't got nothing.
I am a lion.
It's almost too much power. I can't handle this.
We have 3 beautiful women at home that love Cody besides me.
When I'm mad at him, I want to really have anything to do with the family.
So usually Cody does the barbecue when we go places like this, but since he's off on his honeymoon with Robin, Logan stepped in and took care of him.
Oh, awesome. Great. So we're going to parentify Logan. We're going to turn Logan into the dad because he's 14 and obviously he can handle that. So, hey, Logan, is it cool with you if I go for 11 days with my new wife and you just like be a dad to my to my 15 other kids? Are you cool with that? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. You're crushing it.
That's not right. You get a plate, put your bun on, put what you want. Really? You're eating that.
Logan has really stepped up being the oldest child. I mean, he really takes control.
He shouldn't have to. He's a child.
Give me a few more minutes. I think this one's almost done.
God, that really makes me mad.
It's really nice that we've got Logan to step in. It's just, you know, we've got an almost adult male, and that's how we treat him.
He's not an adult. 14 is not, and 14 is just barely an adolescent. Oh, ooh, that hurt. That like hurts because that happened to me too, and that's fucking bullshit. Children are not, the only time that children are supposed to be parents is if they made a baby. So if Logan went off and like made a baby with someone at 14, then Logan gets to be dad. Otherwise, Logan shouldn't be dad because he's not a dad. He's a kid.
I think too, you know, maybe that's part of it, because we treat our children very much as
Yep.
young adults.
Saying the quiet part out loud. That's what happens in big families. Older children become parents because the parents are too worn out to take care of the kids, because taking care of kids is exhausting, which is why you shouldn't have dozens of children.
They will be responsible. We also try to balance that with enough of them going out and hanging out with their friends. You can't expect them to be completely adult. They're teenagers.
Hey, do we want to put more on, Mary?
More on Logan?
Oh, totally. Right? 13 and 16, adolescents need more parenting energy. Ah, no. Sorry. I have a TikTok thing that's supposed to keep me off at an hour, and it just did that.
Let's get cooking.
Peyton is like turning to Logan for dad help. Like, hey, oh God, the dynamic there. Peyton, what Peyton's really doing there is he's saying, my spot has been infringed. It's not about the chair, right? It's about all, they're all like, oh, our children have meshed so well. No, they haven't. Look. Obviously, you're not paying attention to how your children are feeling, because Peyton's really upset that Aurora stole his spot. What spot are we talking about? Is it the chair? If you've ever had kids, you know that things like that are never about things like that. So it's not really about the chair. It's about the attention that Peyton isn't getting and that he perceives Aurora is getting. And now he's reaching out to his proxy dad, Logan, who's actually his brother.
You don't get it.
Why not?
Because there's that spot there.
That's my spot.
Deal with it.
It's my spot.
You don't get it anymore.
It's my spot.
Yeah. It's almost too much power. I can't handle this.
Peyton picks on the girls.
Yeah, Logan, that's the quote of the episode, right? It's almost too much power. I can't handle this. And again, it's a joke because he's a good kid and he's trying to be helpful and he wants people to be proud of him. And he's a responsible, good person who tries to show up and do what is necessary. But that's not his job. That's not what he's supposed to be doing right now.
Times, which I don't know. One side I'm kind of like, oh, that means they're integrating really well because he's treating them like sisters.
And that's horrible. And honestly, you were a true sister now. You're being picked on. That was kind of my perspective. Equal opportunity picking.
Pony and I, it's no secret that we've had, you know, our serious issues. And I wonder if that's why I want to focus on him, because he and I need to focus on each other.
Oh, good call.
I need to focus on him, and he needs to focus on me, so that we can make us better. Because when mine and his relationship is better, mine and their relationship is better. Because seriously, when I'm mad at him, or when he and I are having issues, I detach from everybody and everything, including them. And
That's called avoidant, avoidant attachment. And, you know, and forcing yourself through jealousy isn't going to fix that. Therapy will.
really have anything to do with family.
I've been so impressed these last. I've never heard you talk so logically about your relationship ever as you have in the last 2 months. I'm like, wow, Mary, that's great insight. But you never used to be like that. So it's like you're
evolving so much. Thank you. So can you validate me for wanting my life to center around Cody?
I'm validating because I think that's where I'm at now.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. I was detached for years and years.
Now I have felt like that you've always been a lot more independent, which is good. And I've always been more needy.
I've been right in the middle.
Nobody's needs are getting met. So maybe Mary is avoidant. Maybe she's anxious. Maybe Janelle's avoidant. But nobody's getting their needs met. Verify. Hang on, I gotta verify. Okay.
So far, the honeymoon has been a lot of fun. We've
Just
done some things
no idea.
together. We've been able to spend time just talking and not worried about when I have to be home.
Not worried about when I have to be home, you know, doing that thing that I really hate to do, which is take care of my family.
Little things that you can't do unless you're married, just brushing your teeth together, things like that. So
Oh yeah, things like that. Oh, we're brushing our teeth together in San Diego.
because of the fact that we have 3 beautiful women at home that love her besides me.
It's all about sensitivity. That's something the
It's all about sensitivity.
is always something
On day 8 of,
taken consideration.
we're so sensitive. We've been taking into consideration everyone else's feelings.
Cool. So I'm just always trying to be better.
Again, if you wanted to be sensitive, do a honeymoon for all of the wives. You know? Like, you can actually do things. You can, I don't know, you can do more than just talk about being sensitive. You can actually be sensitive to the feelings of other people.
Vacation, you can tell he's thinking about being home.
The way he puts it, he says, I know I'm up against a bunch of landmines when I come home. And it freaks him out.
He does sometimes run into emotional landmines, and he never knows where they're coming from.
And I kind of tried to give him the advice, if you'll just take the time with each of us, help us fill our emotional bank account a little bit.
And it's absolutely stinking ridiculous that it matters so much. I'm sorry, I hate the fact that I think, when is he going to be around? When is he going to be around? That's
No,
ridiculous.
it's not
Yes, it
ridiculous.
is.
No, it's not, because you need to have that connection and bond with him.
Well, I realize that, but I'd like to be a heck of a lot more independent.
They're like, oh, I have this marriage relationship with this person and I feel sad when he's not around, but now I'm going to make myself feel bad for feeling sad.
When I sit here and think, oh, I miss him, he's not here, like, too much, it's ridiculous.
Well,
I don't mind a little bit, but
it's not like you
ridiculous.
focus
My puppy.
Any of the three of us have been doing that. It's not that our world revolves around him in any way, but it sounds like it a little bit. He is totally the glue that holds the family together. Why not have the world revolve around him? Because it's got to revolve around something else.
I think that level of how your life revolves.
Christine's smart. I think one of my favorite things about this show is going to be watching Christine figure it out. I think I'm going to love that. I think right there, she just figured something out. This is all revolving around Cody. That doesn't seem healthy.
Have new babies. He's sort of up here somewhere.
Which, again, is not what they intended to do, right? They were like, look, we're going to do a Sister Wives show. And it's still going to be about how awesome polygamy is. And what it really has been about, this is what Sister Wives has really been about. It's really been about the Sister Wives the whole time. And it's been about them escaping polygamy. Like, that is what this show, I think, ultimately is going to be about. And I hope they keep doing it, because I want to see, what I want to see is, like, let's just cut Cody out of this. Let's follow Christine, Mary, and Janelle now that they've left. Now what do they do? What do the Sister Wives do when they leave polygamy? That would be good television.
You have a new focus. Truly. You have a new focus. He has his new focus.
Look at this warm rain.
I guess I'll lean back, I'll put my arm right here so you don't get wet. Yeah. You think?
Oh.
Robin and I did have a little bit of a conversation about when he and I were in Mexico, and that she kind of had felt bad that he didn't, call her. You feel bad because you're like, you want to connect somehow with him, and that phone call is how you connect.
I actually insisted that Cody call his wives on our honeymoon. Cody said, actually, I'm gonna probably take a couple days before I even contact him. I said, no, I think you should contact him right away.
I know she's made it a point to have him call him more. He's talked to me for longer conversations than he ever has on vacation.
Oh, really? And I want to say, I don't think it's all Robin.
Wait, I'm confused. What vacations is Cody going on before this one that didn't involve? Why is he? That doesn't make sense to me. Where were you on vacation? What were you vacationing if you weren't with your wives before Robin?
With Janelle, I mean, Cody is growing himself and is improving himself, and it's not all Robin.
Oh, maybe the Mary anniversary.
It's just not.
When you are in a situation, sometimes your emotions, even though logically there's just no way, because he's a good, honorable man, but your emotions sort of get the better of you, and you start creating this crazy thing.
No, it's not a crazy thing.
Hey,
I'm
on a honeymoon with her, but I still love you, and I still connect with you. And
God, the way that women in this culture have been taught that their emotions make them crazy when their emotions are actually keeping them safe. Your emotions are actually telling you what's true, but you're like, oh my God, I'm crazy. I'm crazy because I have these feelings about, I'm so jealous and angry, blah, 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 blah. I must be crazy. I'm creating this crazy idea. No, that is abuse. That's manipulation, right? That's a system that's told you to mistrust yourself.
thinking about you, it helps them to feel more secure.
Cody doesn't love this.
My emotional swings have been like way off the scale. It's not really jealousy, to be honest with you. I love Robin. I'm so excited still, and it was, I was just really, really angry with Cody for the first few days, and I have no idea why. And so I'll be real.
I was really angry when Cody went on his 11-day vacation with his hot new wife. I was really angry at him for the first few days, and I don't know why. That's why. That's why you were angry with him, because he went on an 11-day honeymoon with his new wife and he didn't do that with you. Your anger is your friend.
And I'll say, this has not been a good week for me.
I think it was yesterday, I took an hour and
Yeah.
called everybody and talked to them for a little bit.
Yeah.
The day before, I couldn't get a hold of Janelle.
I ignored his calls for 3 days till he called me 5 times or 6 times in a row until I picked up. I finally took his call and he said all the right things because he's grown up so much in 20 years. He never would have known how to say those things to me 10 years ago. And it's all better. I'm okay. I probably should have taken his call before I sat and stewed for 5 days. Or 3 days. That's me, that's real. That's me being real. People out there are going to understand that I'm real, that I choose this. And I know that this all gets better because
So why, this is what's important, right? Why does Janelle choose this? Why does Mary? Why does Christine? And my perspective on that is that they're not choosing it because they actually love the lifestyle. They're choosing it because they have a belief system that tells them in order to go to heaven, or in order to go to the tippy top heaven, you have to live polygamy, right? That's the way that they have interpreted Mormonism. And Mormonism is a worldview that tells you what you need to do to go to heaven. And so their choice isn't, I choose polygamy. Their choice is, I choose heaven. And that isn't really a choice because that's not true. You don't have to live polygamy to go to heaven. Mormonism is a lie. And that makes it really difficult to believe them when they say that they're choosing this. They're not like, yeah, but if you didn't believe that this is what would get you into heaven, would you still make that choice? Probably not. That's probably why Janelle went from the LDS church to the AUB, is because she read things from early prophets that said that you have to live polygamy in order to be exalted. And she was like, well, I want to be exalted. I want to be, I want to go to the tippy top Mormon heaven.
this before, and now I have these great relationships and I have this great family. We live this really compressed emotional experience. We believe that makes us better people. We overcome ourselves.
When you marry a new wife, you have this kind of a fruit basket upset where everything changes. And it has to change for the better. I have to become better. And some of them have struggled with this. And so now, Robin, knowing that, is able to actually say, hey, dude, it's time for you to grow up. So we start giving them what they've been asking for. Well, in so many words, metaphorically speaking.
It's important for them to feel connected to you, especially when you're going with me. Because I know how important it is for me to feel connected to you when you're going with them.
It started out very platonic.
We were very best friends.
Anyway, I wanted to see you doing good. I'm missing you too. I love you.
We still don't talk for hours.
You've never been replaced, not marrying another Janelle.
Did she really? Janelle could have been one of my other moms. Wild. I don't think she would have liked that very much.
Those 7 days were hard on me when Janelle didn't want to talk to me.
I was mad. I'm even a little angry now when I think about it. So I must not be admitting or processing or something.
You sure?
I know.
Janelle and I started into this thing. It started out very platonic.
We were very best friends before we got married. And I think that just was what continued. That was the theme that continued into our relationship.
Yeah, here, go in the bathroom and get your jammies on.
Okay.
I always thought she was really cute, but she was my friend.
We were husband and wife, but we were really just best friends.
Janelle literally came to this place with me where we could talk so sweetly and openly with each other. And we weren't romantic.
Okay, let's get your jammies. Oh, they're there. Okay. Go in the bathroom. Fast, and change.
It wasn't ever this giggly flowers and hearts, and I mean, that wasn't us. Because I had relationships in the past.
If it was Cody's older brother, it was definitely that Cody only has one older brother, and that's my dad. This makes me sad.
I don't have that relationship with Cody.
Janelle deserves to be in love and to have someone be in love with her.
I've always wanted to be more romantic with her, even though she's not necessarily. I can make more of an effort, you know, but you kind of get in your own grooves.
Go in my bathroom.
What happens, I think, in some level.
Janelle's a single mom. They're all single moms with a dad that shows up sometimes. We never see like this, all these clips of like Cody's sitting here talking about, I want to be romantic with Janelle. And Janelle's walking around putting to bed the 6 children that she has with Cody alone. Like, there's a way you could show up for her.
And goes, I'm missing that.
To say that that's why I was mad, I don't think so. I don't think it was because the relationships are different. And I think it was more just me coming to terms with where do I still fit in the picture.
You've never been replaced. Not marrying another Janelle. You will always be my best friend.
But we really are ultimately best friends. We talk about everything and anything. And we talked for a long time.
Your relationship with Cody was always something I was jealous over because I was never valued as an intellectual. And so we still don't talk for hours.
You know, I see how he is with each of you guys. And, you know, you wish that you had that. It's like the grass is always greener and it's hard to see what it is, you know, that's special about you.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
You have homework to do.
A little bit, yeah.
Open up the door and turn off lights so I can turn on this light.
Hey, Jujubee.
Hey, Robin.
Welcome to the club.
I'm going to call home.
Okay.
All right, take a few minutes and at least make one phone call.
Okay.
While I got a chance. So, hi, how's it going? Anyway, I wanted to see if you're doing good, see that you're happy, and I'm missing you too. I'll bet you're happy about that. Okay. I like that whole discussion on the texting about our dreams and what we want to do in our lives. That was fun, huh?
Man, Mary sounds exhausted.
Had better dreams last night? Okay. You know, remember what I told you about the dreams? And probably change them a little bit. Okay. I love you. I've got to run, okay?
I've got to run.
What? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I promise.
Oh, that's a heartbreaking conversation.
Bye.
She was in tears. I was like, oh, that's sad.
But I needed Robin to be able to have a unique experience.
It's different for everybody what they need.
Sometimes it's really hard to accept because of how selfish we are being.
God, there it is again. We are the problem. I'm being selfish by wanting more of my husband's time.
So Robin and I are back from the honeymoon now, and the family is looking for the new normal. We're just wanting things to settle in. And
Third wife didn't want to be on the show. She's very private and didn't want to be have her life captured for consumption, which I get.
And go home, and the kids are going to help me make dinner for everybody while the wives go shopping.
Oh, that's great. So I get to go on an 11-day vacation to San Diego. And then when I get back, You guys are going to get to go shopping.
I got her taken to the school. I went in there. The principal's like, "Oh, go get your these pictures taken." So I did. Look at her cute little shoulders.
Oh.
Oh, my baby. After we got back from the honeymoon, Christine on the phone with me she was in tears and she just said, "Robin, just tell me you needed this."
Hey, Alyssa. Thanks for joining.
I'm not gonna cry all the time. I just love you.
Robin, I'm not going to cry all the time. You do.
And I said, "I did, Christine. I really did. I needed this." And she goes, "Okay, okay." The 11 days for her was necessary. And once she said that, I was like, "Oh, that's sad." All right, let's go. We gotta go.
What?
Very good at doing what he thinks is best for each of us. He tailors what he does. It's not like cookie cutter. You get 4 days for your honeymoon. You get 4 days.
He tailors it so that everyone gets exactly what they need. But what that means is Robin gets 11 days.
All right, let's go party. We all need different things at different times, and sometimes we accept it because we're in a good place with ourselves, and sometimes it's really hard to accept because of how selfish we are being.
That's not selfish. It's not selfish to insist that your needs are met in a relationship. That's not selfish. A good partner won't go to you and be like, "Hey, you need to be less selfish." Like, "Oh, I heard that you need something from me. Be less selfish." Right? That's an abusive partner. If your partner responds to your needs by calling you selfish, you should break up with that partner. That partner is, I think there's a technical term for this. That partner is an asshole.
I want you to go inside and get your homework done, okay? Go inside and get your homework done.
We could go on a detour and I could show you the first house I lived in when Cody and I were first married.
Weird.
Yeah, it's just up the road. Yeah.
The length of the honeymoon was really important. There was a gazillion reasons. The dynamic for
Oh, a gazillion reasons.
were all very different.
Yeah.
We didn't have any children initially. There wasn't the complexities of this big family and this little family coming together. They got something very unique and special in this early time in our lives together. I needed Robin to be able to.
Yeah, Mary and Christine and Janelle, they got something really special. They got to go on a road trip to Wyoming. And, that was really special. So I needed to give Robin something equally as special, which is an 11-day vacation in San Diego. Equally special. In fact, if anything, Robin got the shaft. Like, Robin really got the, the unlucky version of that.
A unique experience developing a relationship in this place.
I love this store. So what do you suppose is the back? The back probably.
Look at you now. You like that? In the very beginning, there's this promise of this sweet, loving relationship between me and these other women, this sisterhood. And then as time progresses and they see the relationship, it's almost like that kind of got yanked out from under me because they are having their struggles.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't appreciate you taking their husband away for 11 days while they took care of all their kids. But don't worry, they got to go on a cool little shopping trip to get witch hats. So made up for it. Again, if you want sisterhood, there's a really cool way you could have done that. Hey, Cody, how about instead of an 11-day honeymoon, we take a 5-day honeymoon and you go on a 2-day trip with each one of your wives? Do you know what that would have meant to Mary and Christine and Janelle? The way that would have changed that dynamic, the way that that really would have created a sisterhood, you could have had that. You could have done that. That is a thing that you could have done if what you wanted was sisterhood.
These little glimmers of hope from them kind of coming out of that.
You ready? 1, 2, 3, and then do it. I do. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe these things that I wanted in the beginning, these relationships that I want with the family are still there. Because that's what I want just as much as I want Cody in the family.
Here's a gravy boat.
That's a brown-sized gravy boat.
Oh.
Hey, Harrison, you want to help bake a cake? Number one, because I just want to celebrate our big family. So somebody's got to make the salad.
The mom's bought steak. We have stuff for salad.
Okay, listen close, because somebody's got to cook these.
Oh my God. Hey kids, I know I was gone for 11 days, but can somebody bake me a cake? And would you bake me a salad? Hey, somebody listen, because someone has to bake these tater tots.
It's only been just a minute, or a couple of minutes.
Do I think Cody actually believes what he's saying? Yeah. I think Cody's sincere. I think he is. I think he's brainwashed and just stuck deep in a patriarchal cult way of thinking. But I think that he sincerely believes. Yeah, I think he sincerely believes all that, which is tragic, right? Like he's under the thrall of Mormonism, and that's why he's acting this way. That's why he's doing these things.
One of the biggest things that attracted me to Cody was his love for his wives. The fact that he saw value in each one of these girls for different reasons, for who they were, for their strengths and their weaknesses, was like, I just drooled.
It's not, no. Makes you look flat-chested, to be completely honest.
Christine!
I'm sorry, it's the truth. Nothing personal.
Nothing personal.
No, it made me look flat-chested too. If you didn't discuss making anything look flat, or I would be fine with that. Are you not secure in that issue?
Christine. Hey, Robin. Hey, Robin. Robin. Your boobs are small. I fucking love that.
It's not a flaw to me. Okay? It's not a flaw to me.
It was so important to me that I be able to talk about how much I love Mary and how much I love Christine and how much I love to her. Because if that freaks her out, I'm not going to pull her in.
I love to know that he's loving his other wives, because that means he'll love me too.
Part of me, I don't expect to get me. It's kind of enigmatic that I love them all. To me, loving
Okay, here we come home.
really not far from loving more than one child. When Precious comes into the family, that's this beautiful experience.
Loving more than one wife is no different than loving more than one child. Buddy. I just wonder what his adult children would say about that. Because I know what I would say to my dad if he said that. I'd be like, look, it doesn't matter what you say. It matters what you do and how you show up for me. And the fact is, you had so many children that you were never there for me. You don't know what my favorite things are. You don't know anything about me. Do you know what my favorite movie is? Do you know what I like to do when I've got free time? Do you know anything about me other than that you love me? No, you don't, because you have 16 children and you can't keep track of that many children.
But he's in love with her and she's cute as can be. She's not taking anything from Logan. You know, Logan's still the man.
Oh my God, that Logan's still the man.
So
He doesn't get it. Truly's not taking anything from Logan, as Logan is like Truly's second dad.
when it comes to the family, she's not taking anything away from anybody else.
Other than those 11 days.
Depth, love, and affection for Mary, Janelle, and Christine, as I ever did.
As time goes on, it's like we're catching on all of the things. We have this unique bond between the four of them.
Okay, kids, everybody pay attention. Just recently, we all did something.
I'll bet that didn't feel good for Christine. Yeah, you know, I just had a baby. And Cody also got 3 other kids. So, go me.
Together as a family. And at the end, Dayton stopped and he says, I've joined the best family in the world. Okay, everybody's quiet. I've joined the best family in the world. Okay, everybody's quiet.
This plural lifestyle that we're living is synonymous in a way with the woman who decides to have a baby.
This is about kind of a chapter in our lives ending and a new one beginning.
She knows what is ahead of her. She knows that there's pain involved. She knows that there's discomfort involved. But at the end of it, she has this beautiful blessing. That's kind of what our situation is right now. We've got a lot of pain and we've got a lot of discomfort that we're dealing with. But I think at the end of it, I think that we're going to have something that's really special for us.
I will count to 3. Please, nobody jump the gun.
Oh my God.
Everybody
There.
and we will start a new chapter as a family, all of us together. Okay?
You can't even, the symbolism of this. Hey, you guys, all together, let's blow out the candles of our old life. Let's blow out our old family. Well,
Some of our children.
there we go. That is the honeymoon special. You guys were right. I did hate it. I think the thing that is like the most present to me now is just that it wouldn't have been that hard to make it more fair and to take care of everyone's feelings. And the fact that they didn't do that is really heartbreaking to me. Like, it would have been so easy. And it makes me angry for everyone. Like the wives, like Cody, the producers. Like, it would have been so easy as a producer to be like, hey, why don't we send you and Robin on a 5-day honeymoon and then a 2-day for each? Like, that would have been doable. It would have been great television. It would have actually honored what they were saying, right? So they're constantly saying, oh, it's equal and we love and blah, 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 blah. And instead it's like, no, we're just going to give Robin 11 days because she needs it. Because, you know, what you don't know is that Mary and Christine and Janelle, they got to go to the ranch. They got to go on a road trip to the ranch. So, you know, it's going to be super unfair if Robin doesn't get to go on an 11-day trip to San Diego. Well, hang on, let me check. Does anybody have any questions? By the way, if you are just watching this live and you're not subscribed and you want to interact and ask questions, you can subscribe. There are 3 options. You can do telestial, terrestrial, or celestial. The level of subscription determines the level of Mormon heaven that I will allow you in as the true prophet. You know, and Leah, that actually, it kind of makes me angry with TLC. If that's true, it makes me really angry that they would exploit a family that way. That's really irresponsible and really disgusting. That they would honor conflict over caring. Because I think that it would have been just as good of television if they would have done Robin with a short little one and then he goes off with each 3 of them, right? That would have been a great, I think that would have been great TV. What was it like when your dad married his 3rd wife? So my dad married his 3rd wife. So my dad married 2 women at the same time. So I was born into polygamy, right? I was born with 2 moms. My dad married his 3rd wife, I think when I was like 5 or 6. So I don't remember a lot. I remember being excited about getting a bunch of new siblings. I remember that there was because she had been married to someone else and had, I think, 4 or 5 kids. And one of them was my age. One of them was like an older brother. I was excited to get another older brother. I remember that when she came to Wyoming, she actually never moved onto the ranch. She moved into town, and that created some jealousy in me. I was a little, because we were on the ranch living in trailers, living in like really gross, teeny tiny trailers, and she moved into this big house in Lovell. And I don't know that it actually was that big, but to me it seemed huge. Like it was like 2 stories. There were stairs. They had television. They got to watch Power Rangers. We weren't allowed to watch Power Rangers. We weren't allowed to watch TV. And so I remember feeling like, kind of like, oh, why do they get this bonus stuff? That seems a little unfair. But honestly, we never really integrated. So she was only around, I don't even know that she was around for a year. She left pretty quickly. She did get pregnant. And so I have one brother with a half brother with her. And I do remember all growing up, my dad, they had some disagreements in court. They went to court to determine custody, and he got some time, and he invested a lot in that relationship with that son. And as an adult, I understand why, but as a child, it made me feel jealous, because he spent a lot more time and energy in seeming to try to have a relationship with this son that was in Utah, because he had to, because it wasn't just going to happen. But I remember as a kid being like, oh, you're not like he would have calls every week, and he would go down to see him and like all of this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's different. Like that's a different level of energy that he's getting than that we're getting, Do I think it's weird Maddie married Caleb and he was old and she was a teen when they met? No. Because as far as I know, nothing happened until they were adults, and I think adults can do. I don't have a problem with age difference. And as far as I know, they're happy and it's working for them. You meet people when you meet people. Oh, thanks. Telling me that I look like Curtis is I like that much more than telling me that I look like Cody. Am I a similar age to Logan? I think Logan is probably 6 to 10 years younger than me. I think. I'm 35, and I think Logan's in his late 20s. Oh, hang on. I got to go get my puppy some water. Do you need some water? Are you thirsty? There you go. There you go. Is Curtis the youngest? No. Curtis is, I think, right in the middle. My grandma has 10 kids. My grandma Janelle had 10 kids. And I think Curtis was the 6th or 7th. So again, the polygamy is different, right? So there's not a lot of codified doctrine necessarily, but most polygamists don't believe in birth control. And I know that me growing up, we were taught, I was taught something called the higher law of chastity, which basically means that you're only supposed to have sex to have children. Do I feel like my dad had a favorite wife too? I don't know. I've wondered sometimes if maybe the third was the one that he had the most kind of romantic, connection with, but I don't know. I don't know that. He's only ever really had the two, and I don't necessarily see a preference there. One of them is definitely my favorite. Curtis is like the third youngest boy. For sure, Leia. Yeah, when I was, and not because I wanted to necessarily, but I thought that was the only way to get to heaven. And I was like, I'm going to do what you have to do. I'm going to do what God wants you to do. And if God wants you to live polygamy, I'm going to do it. But I never wanted to. Even when I was really young, I could tell that polygamy was not a great deal for anyone, and especially for like as a boy, right? Thinking about becoming a polygamist man, the thing that I didn't like about it is that it was really obvious to me that you couldn't be a polygamist man and truly be intimate with anyone, because we were taught this, right? We were told this all the time, that as a man, you'd have to keep confidences between wives, right? So if one wife would come to you and share something, you couldn't go and talk about that with someone else, right? So you had to sort of compartmentalize your relationships. And that seemed really isolating to me, right? It felt really sad to me that there wouldn't ever be a person in my life that I could be 100% vulnerable and intimate with, right? That there would never be someone that I would share all of myself with. I would always have to keep parts of myself walled off from every relationship that I had. And that didn't sound like fun to me. That sounded really isolating and really sad, actually. So I didn't love it. I didn't love the idea. What else you got? Suspicious mind. Hey, Sonny. Welcome. 43 subscribers. We're so close to 50. Who's my favorite brown cousin? I don't really have a favorite brown cousin. I enjoy when we go to family reunions. There's like a crew of us who are all who've all left Mormonism, and we kind of camp out in our own little space and drink beer and laugh, and I always have a really good time with them. Was I close? So Cody's family lived in Wyoming for a while. this was very like way before the show. Cody's kids are all, because Logan's his oldest, and Logan I'm pretty sure is like 8 years younger than me. So they were in sort of a different age group than I was growing up. They did live in Wyoming for a couple of years, but they weren't on the ranch. They lived somewhere else. And, but then they moved to Utah, and then it was just like family reunions and stuff. And by the time the show had started, I'd already left polygamy. I'd already kind of left and started my family. And, yeah, so not a lot. And there's just a lot, right? Like I stopped counting at 85 cousins, and that was 15 years ago. So there's a lot. There's just a lot to keep track of. Do I think it's possible for fathers in polygamy to actually know and connect with all of the kids? No, I don't. I have 3 kids, and it's hard for me. It's hard for me to feel like I'm there. Like I constantly have what I would call like dad anxiety of like, am I showing up enough for my kids? Am I aware of what's like, am I doing enough? And I have 3 kids. I have 3. You have 15 kids. That's just impossible. There's not enough hours in the day, right? You're just going to be constantly pulled in a bunch of different directions, and kids can tell that, right? Kids can tell when you're not present with them, and so they'll detach and they'll become avoidant. And so you might think, oh, I'm there for everyone. I ask everyone, but they don't feel emotionally close to you. Yeah, I mean, the Sky Mommy, does it bother me that the show portrayed their polygamy as being the norm, trips, nice houses, stuff like that? Yeah, I think that is, that's part of why I do what I do, is that I think that if you're going to talk about polygamy in the United States, then you should show the whole picture. And the whole picture of polygamy is poverty, neglect, abuse, and exploitation. That's the whole picture. So yeah, maybe, and you see it even in this family, right? Like even in this family where they have the trips and the cars and the houses, you still see all of those things. And so of course if this is the one that we got ready for television, to show for television, imagine what the parts of polygamy that we didn't show are like. We had a lot of fun at Christine's wedding. Yeah, it was a good time. Christine's wedding. So the Cody and his family for a long time that have been kind of, they like even in Wyoming, they would throw dance parties, and they were very much happening, right? So there was like this energy of like, you'd go over there and you'd party and you'd dance. And it was fun to see that could still happen even without Cody there, right? That was in, and I wish the best for Cody. I hope that he's able to create those kinds of experiences for him as well. But it was cool to see that that was Christine's too, that Christine got to have that. Oh, thanks, Leah. I appreciate that. Do I think poverty is a consequence of society treating polygamy as they do? I think that poverty is really just the consequence of where polygamy came from, right? So polygamy comes out of Mormonism, right? Mormons are impoverished and go out into Utah, where their wealth is sucked up into a multinational corporation called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And then the fringe parts of that society are the polygamous parts. And so they're the poorest. And so I don't think it's necessarily, I think that having a more open society and sort of giving polygamists access, I think they're sort of stuck, right? So it's really difficult to leave the polygamist world. Like me, for example, I didn't have a social security number growing up. So when I came into the world, I didn't have a legal existence. So I had to create that. That took some time. That took some doing. Yeah, Grandpa Wynn didn't go to Christine's wedding because he was dead. He died. He died. God, he died ages ago, probably 5 or 10 years ago. Yeah, I was homeschooled. Which meant that like my mom would teach classes sometimes, and my high school math education was my mom handed me an Algebra 2 textbook and said, here, go learn Algebra 2. And what I learned is that the answers are in the back of the book. And I'll be real, I've used that more in my life than I've used Algebra 2. Because the answers are usually in the back of the book. I guess she did. I guess she did. Or I learned a great deal. Yeah, I mean, I'll be real. As a kid, I really wanted to go to school. I think I would have really enjoyed school and thrived there, especially the social aspect. But, you know, y'all didn't get a great experience either. Like I've heard about what public school was like, and you know, it's not great. We don't take great care of children in America. And that's true across the board. I have actually read Educated. Educated is what kind of made me think that I could write a memoir. So I've been kind of working on one of those off and on for a couple of years. And I love Educated. I think it's great. In fact, one of the highlights of my July is that Tara Westover followed me on Instagram like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh my God. It was fun. Most of my immediate family is still in the AUB. Yeah. I have three sisters now who have married into polygamous situations. I don't love any of that. One of them she married someone all of them were older. One of them married someone quite older. I have, I think, 3 brothers now who have not married polygamous yet, but they have married in the AUB. And I have 2 brothers who have, 2 brothers who are now LDS, and then a brother and a sister who are just kind of nothing. They're out entirely. No, my kids go to public school. My kids go to public school, and then I also just mentor them and coach them and help facilitate their interests. Yeah, I think one of the advantages of the disadvantage of the Sister Wives show is that it exposed Cody's kids to a world that gave them the option to leave. So I don't think as far as I know, none of his kids are staying in it. Yeah, I'm going to try to go live every Sunday and watch a new episode kind of wherever I am. I'm 2 episodes into season 2. So I'm going to do a couple of response videos to them this week and then see where I end up for next week. So, in fact, I don't know. I wonder how many, I guess I can look. I wonder how many episodes season 2 has. You know, I don't know if some of Cody's kids are LDS. Looks like it has 11 episodes. So maybe we'll get there, maybe not. Ha! Diet cult for the win. The most recent, season 18. The most shocking thing I've seen on the show so far. Most shocking thing. I think the thing that has annoyed me the most, and I haven't really gotten to this because I haven't done a review of episode 2 of season 2 yet. I think the thing that's annoyed me the most is how whitewashed their trip to the ranch was. Like they didn't show any of the trailers that my family lives in. They tried to keep it like kind of squeaky clean, and it's not like that. It's a really gross place. So that was the most annoying. In fact, at one point in that episode, I think they got Grandma Cheryl talking about how Janelle's house and Cheryl's house are like kind of just a short walk away. And while she's talking, they show a picture, they show a clip of these two houses, and it's not even their houses. Like, it's not even like they found another couple houses up there and they filmed that. It's not even the house. How do I feel seeing Win on camera? In that episode, he's like, I don't know why. It seems like you all still love Grandpa. I don't know why. And that is more self-reflection than I've ever seen from my grandpa in his life. My grandpa was not a great guy. He was scary and violent and not someone that I would ever let children be around. Last time I was on the ranch was last summer. I went up a little bit last summer when me and my dad were kind of trying to be closer. I kind of wish I'd gotten more pictures because I'd like to show you guys what it really looks like. I don't think I have very many of them. And I don't know that they'll let me back. Janelle, last time I talked to Grandma Janelle, she was great. I loved my Grandma Janelle. Her and I have kind of like over the last year or so, she's like come to my house a couple of times. We've interacted at like different things, and everyone says that she has dementia, and she kind of does. But also she's remembered me every time, and she remembers. So I think that we're tight. Like I really enjoy Grandma very much. She wrote a memoir and or an autobiography. She gave me half of it. She told me that I could have the rest of it. That it talks about what happened when they joined polygamy. It gives her side of the story, but my dad has declared it too sacred to be read while Grandma is still alive, and has kind of weaseled it away. So my grandma has told me that I can have it, but she can't give it to me because she doesn't know how to use the computer, and no one will give it to me. So I am a little angry about that. Yeah, that is so crazy, Sonny. And what's even crazier is I didn't know that until I was an adult. Like, I didn't realize that until I was an adult. And when I realized it, I was like, is nobody going to talk about how weird this is? Like, that's weird, right? That's weird. And that was when I was still in it. Yeah, Wynn only had kids with Janelle. And I don't know how long they were married before Cody and Janelle. I was either really young. I don't know. I don't know if it was months or years. Okay, well, what's my relationship like now with my immediate family? It's pretty distant. And a lot of that is my choice. And it's not my choice because I don't want family in my life. It's just, it's my choice because that's what I need to maintain my peace. And one of the lonely facts about going on a healing journey, and especially dealing with generational healing, is that you often kind of heal your way out of the family. And so it's kind of lonely, you know, like I would love, especially over the last year, because the last couple of years have been difficult for me personally, because I've been going through kind of a gnarly divorce. And it would have been really nice to be able to rely on my family for support during that time. But, you know, I'm the first member of my family, I think, to get divorced ever. And the energy that I was getting was, you're doing this. Well, what my dad literally told me is that, it was my fault because I'd gone to therapy, and, therapy had ruined my life because I got divorced afterwards, which wasn't wrong. Like, that was true. It was true that I did go to therapy, and that therapy is what made me realize that I should definitely get divorced. But you know, that's not a bad thing, right? That was a good thing. And, so yeah, it's tough. It's difficult to, yeah, now I'm not the only one, right? Yep. But I have pride that I was first. I did it first. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really sucks because, you know, Sonny, I think that we, as humans, we're not supposed to be doing this alone. We're communal creatures, right? We're not isolated creatures. That's not how we're supposed to live. And, you know, it's just really painful when you have to make a choice between, you know, your health and your family. That's a really difficult choice to make. And I'm proud of anyone who makes that choice. And I also want to like recognize and validate the pain and loneliness that comes when you make that choice. Because, you know, if you start to acknowledge some of the dysfunction, in your family dynamic, you know, that's really uncomfortable for the people in the family that have not started to heal. And so they would rather you be bad than them be unhealthy. My ex has not remarried, but she has re-engaged herself. Thanks, Leah. I think so too. I think I am a much more healed and empathetic person. I think that, you know, I would rather be me how I am now, even with the loneliness. And I'm optimistic that I won't be lonely for too long. You know, I think that I'm at the phase in my life where I've removed the toxic from my life, and that's now created space. Cody likes to talk about sacred loneliness. I think this is actually sacred loneliness. I'm in that space now where I've created the space, and it's a little lonely, and but that's what I need. If I need that before people can come and kind of take up that space. And now I know how to recognize people who are healthy and people who aren't. And I'm really good at spotting narcissists. So can't fool me. Fool me once. Well, fool me 3 or 4 or 5 times. In fact, right after I don't know if anyone else has done this. Right after I split up with my ex, I just a couple of months later, I connected with a woman and started dating her, who initially I was like, oh, this is totally different. And then like a couple of months into dating this person, I was like, fuck, this is exactly the same person. I was like, damn it, I did it again. I picked up the same pattern. But then I was like, hold on. It took you 13 years the first time to recognize that pattern. And this one took you 6 months. So that's growth, right? And then the next one I saw immediately. I was like, ooh, nope. And now it's like just beating off narcissists with a stick. Thanks, Leah. I think it does. I'm hopeful. It's hard sometimes for sure. it's the thing that's the hardest about it, I think, is knowing that, like, sometimes I'll get in my head and I'll be like, I have literally hundreds of family members. Like literally hundreds of family members. It sucks that I'm this alone. But that's Mormonism for you. Because Mormonism actually doesn't care about family. What Mormonism actually cares about is conformity. It wants you to conform to the toxic system. And if you don't, then you don't get to be a part of it. Oh yeah, my kids are light years ahead of me. And they have their own unique, challenges. I've told all of them, I'm like, I'm going to pay for your therapy. Don't worry. I broke you, so I bought you. And I imagine that probably you're going to talk to your therapist about things that I do. That's great. You should. Also, I love you. Yep, I feel that, Shay. I feel that. You're just like, why can't you just be healthy, guys? Yeah, I did, right? Like, and I think too, like, I kind of joke about my kids with it. Not like that I joke about breaking them, but I'm just like, I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy as a parent to acknowledge a couple of things, right? Number one, acknowledge that I'm doing better than my parents did, right? So like they can see that. They can see that. And at the same time to be like, look, you guys, I was a traumatized person. I was coming out of 7 generations of cult abuse and brainwashing. So I don't even know the ways that I might have fucked you up as little kids. I don't even know. And, as a kid, you're just so delicate anyway. So you could do everything perfect as a parent. Like I realized this really early on with my kids where it struck me. I remember my oldest, I was just talking to her and she said to me, "Why are you yelling at me?" And I was like, "Oh, you're a tiny little person and I'm a giant and I'm literally just talking to you. I'm just using my talking voice that I use with other adults. But to you, it sounds like I'm yelling to you because I'm huge, because I'm a giant. I'm a giant to you." And so that made me realize that like we can damage our kids without even intending to, right? Just because we're big and clumsy. And so, I let my kids know that. I'm like, look, I am not a perfect person. There are definitely things about me that you're going to have to talk to someone about. And you're welcome to bring any of those to me. I'll hear anything that you have to say, or go talk to someone else. And I'm happy that you're doing that. I want you to, because I want what's best for you. And I'm doing my absolute best to be your dad. And I'm going to fuck you up. In some way, I'm going to fuck you up. It's just going to happen. And it's not going to be because I don't love you. It's going to be because I'm a broken in-person human who's doing his best to heal. And if I ever realize that, I'll apologize. If you ever bring something to me and are like, "Hey, you did this and this is how it impacted me," I will apologize for that thing. But also just expect it. Just expect that that's going to happen. And I think what that does is it sort of lowers the temperature a little bit, right? Like, it just says that that's okay. It's okay to do that. It's okay to let kids know that, you're doing your best, and also your best isn't going to be good enough sometimes. They deserve better than your best. So anyway, I got to run. You guys, I got to get back to the rest of my Sunday. Thanks for hanging out. I had a lot of fun, and we'll see you back here next week for wherever we're at in the Sister Wife saga. Bye-bye.